Okay, I'm recording this video after close of trade Monday 28th of June 2010, and I'm recording this video on the new Mac, so it might sound and look a little bit different from previous videos, and I'm also a little bit slower getting around my charts. I've not got used to my hotkeys and the new keyboard layout here, but anyway, bear with me. Just thought I'd bring up first of all Monday's trade on a daily chart with the better volume indicator marked on. It was kind of interesting because it was a very low volume down day. You can see we only had about 1.3 million contracts traded, ended up with a close below Friday's close. And sometimes that suggests that there's a lack of supply at this point, so there were not enough kind of sellers to overwhelm the buyers and kind of bring the market down to kind of new lows. The other interesting feature of this chart was Thursday's trade here. You can see we had extremely high volume on Thursday, over 3.5 million contracts traded. It ended up being a high volume churn day. And so I didn't do a video on Friday just because I was actually away this weekend, but this was kind of interesting. There were a lot of very strange things happening on the intraday charts on Thursday, and I have to start to wonder if this was, actually an opportunity for the buyers to come into the market. Let me just show you the sine wave chart as well. We're also coming up to a cyclical turn on the daily time frame in terms of better sine wave indicator here, suggesting that we might have a cyclical low. This is kind of the fourth time we've come into these 1060 type levels, and we're lining up for a cyclical low on this time, so potentially we could see some support kind of coming in. And when I also back down to the 45-minute chart, you can see here we've formed a pullback and a downtrend, and we've got a cyclical turn happening here shortly. So tomorrow we'll probably have an end of trend warning signal show on this chart. Now, this is kind of one of my favorite patterns where we've got an end of trend warning signal in the lower time frame coinciding with a cyclical turn in the higher time frame. The lower time frame in this instance relative to a daily chart is the 45-minute chart. Again, remember I'm using 3 times 3 to get from my lowest to my intermediate to my highest time frame. So if we multiply 45 minutes by 9, that's 405 minutes, which is the total minutes in the day session of the E-mini. So if we get an end of trend warning signal here lining up with a cyclical turn on the daily time frame, that would tend to suggest that we've got a high likelihood of the market reversing at this point. However, that being said, we still have a ways to go. We're very close to these lows. We haven't seen some kind of capitulation type selling yet. So let's see if this kind of 1060 level holds when we form this cyclical turn at this point. For me, the jury's still out, but I'm watching for a cyclical turn in these time frames, and it's kind of reinforced when I look at my daily time frame on the trend oscillator. Here you can see on the daily chart the trend oscillator has just ticked up, and we've also just exited this quite nice short trade and reversed and gone long at the end of trade on Monday. So we've got a couple of different indicators on the daily time frames, kind of non-correlated indicators, suggesting that we might be seeing a turn happening in the market. Tuesday's trade is going to be critical, and the 1060 level holding is going to be critical as well. Let me just show you the longest term time tip bar chart. This is the 40,500 tip bar chart. We've also had an end of trend warning signal come up on this time frame. This is not dissimilar to the 45-minute chart, so it's not surprising that we've got a similar signal here. You can see the exhaustion selling volume that we had a couple of days ago, at the beginning of last week, gives us our exhaustion kind of selling point here. We've been making in the bottoming process here with all these bullish divergence signals here, all these red dots on better momentum here, and this final push down. It's not unusual to see a push down to selling that's kind of equivalent to what we've seen kind of in the recent past, but will not be as great as the exhaustion selling at this point. So I'm going to be watching early Tuesday's trade very closely to see if we can actually kind of snap back from this selling activity and start to rally. If we don't, this is kind of a critical juncture. It'll mean that this end of trend warning signal might be violated to the downside, and we might be seeing a trend move form to the downside. So kind of watching and waiting on Tuesday morning for this. Then just to show you what was happening on the day trading charts on the tip bar chart. So 40,500 tip bar chart. First of all, just to show you that on late Sunday's activity, we were kind of retesting the highs from Friday here. We had these kind of bearish divergence signals here, weren't able to get much above this cyclical turning point here, and the market kind of sold off, had a nice 10-point range into the morning, and then we kind of bottomed out with a Rambo pattern here with a reversible amateur breakout. So the amateurs are driving this last move down here, and then you can see the professionals step in straight away. So the market reverses. We form a pullback and end of trend kind of signal here. A little bit late, it was better on the lower time frames, into another cyclical turn. At this point we had exhaustion buying, and then the market kind of sold off again. So 500 tick bar chart as well. This actually had some nice signals. This is from the beginning of the day. We started to sell off quite hard. And you can see coming into this end of trend warning signal here at 1067, we had a whole bunch of exhaustion selling signals down here. We don't get the market turning around till we have capitulation in a number of things. The end of trend warning signal is effectively showing me capitulation in terms of price. The better momentum indicator with these exhaustion selling signals show me capitulation in terms of selling activity, and then the professionals kind of stepping in right at the bottom here. You can see that this ledge finally gives way, and just as it gives way, the professionals step in with these blue bars, down bars here. Professionals kind of getting interested at this point. We test a little bit here with these down amateur bars here, a little bit of bullish divergence. You can just see how weak the selling is at this point, because the better momentum kind of breaches below the zero level is really weak, and the market takes off to the upside. You can see the high of today was also marked with an end of trend warning signal here. We had our exhaustion buying at this point coming into 1078, 1079. We had an end of trend warning signal here, second cyclical turn after an end of trend warning signal. I'm always looking for these for changes in trend, and that happens at an exhaustion buying point here. A couple of professional bars coming into these highs. You can see bang, 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 just with broaching new highs. There's professionals kind of getting interested in going short. The market kind of collapses. We break through support at this point, and then we're away to the downside. So a couple of charts there, tick bar charts, the 4500 and the 500 tick bar charts. So again, just looking at tomorrow's activity is going to be key to hold that 1060 level. We've got a little bit of a kind of downside momentum in the after session at the moment, and we'll need to see the early activity holding tomorrow morning, maybe seeing a little bit of kind of exhaustion selling before the market starts to turn around, if we're going to see a cyclical turn on the daily time frame.